Hey you guys, good morning. I'm coming to you this morning on a last minute plan of, this is going to be a video of what I do in a day on an average busy weekday. Step one, pet the puppies. They won't let you forget that step. Inside of this chickshaw behind me are my very favorite chickens. Don't tell the others, or do tell, because they don't care. These are my breeding birds. So I have this dream. Every chicken lady, I think, has a dream of beautiful rainbow eggs. And that's what's contained inside this hutch. Dark brown, dark and speckled, green, blue, and a rooster that when you combine them all, we'll get even more magical colors. They're still chicks right now though, so haven't seen my dream come to fruition, but this is one of those long-term goals, you know? These birds are my front yard birds. Well, technically my backyard, but we have one of those backyards that's basically the front yard because that's where our main door is. Anyway, so we have them under this massive apple tree because apples fall and the chickens eat it. I will never have a static coop, ever. You see the mobile coop behind me, and what you can't see is electric netting around the birds. I will never have a static coop because they're gross and I don't want to clean them. And I like to move the birds around so that they don't tear up the ground into a muddy mess, and I can utilize them for things like cleaning up the apples around the apple tree. They're minimizing bug pressure right now, they're minimizing waste, and they're just all around enjoying life. I haven't shown you guys the inside of my tunnel in quite some time just because of how busy we have been, but Tomato Jungle is thriving, okay? She had a little bit of a falling. She looked a little crusty in the middle of July, which I get it. It was hot. It's hot in here. I need to buy a shade cloth, but for those of you wondering, it works perfectly fine without one. Anyway, but I am getting lots of new growth on my tomatoes. I'm not really pruning them anymore, just because this is it. There's no more after this. What's on the plant is gonna ripen, but like the little teeny tiny ones are never gonna develop because we're nearing the end too, guys. But still getting lots of ripe tomatoes. Enough to fill my bellies and my CSAs, and every morning I come in here and I open it and I get a cherry tomato. Because for nothing other than routine. This is another mobile coop we have. This is Joel Salatin's design, the Eggmobile. Love it, love everything about it. I love a mobile coop. I love not cleaning. I love moving them around. Right now, they're all up except for like a couple little stragglers in the bottom because we need to move them today. So every couple days, we will move them to new surroundings. As much as I would love everything to be on my farm grass-fed, dairy cows are very fragile, for lack of better words. And my cows don't have the genetics to survive on just grass. So we do feed them grain, but it's very minimal. It's only at milking time as a little supplement, a little calorie boost. Whoop. Tell me why my Dixie, my dog Dixie, came from the barn loft and had something in her mouth. And I was like, what is that? Because it looked odd. Where and why? I do not wear shoes like this. I would break my ankle. Fun fact, we bought this farm 2 years ago from a set of hoarders. And we're still clearing stuff out. There's still junk in places that I didn't put there. Good morning. Don't hit my finger. Gotta be. She literally runs. It kind of shocked me at first how smart cows were, which is weird, but she's very food motivated. Like, she runs in here every morning to get her little snack. So it's easy to get her to go places, but also hard because she's too smart. Like last winter, she got really sick. We had super cold, like -45, which is insane, temperatures on Christmas Eve. And she ended up getting frostbite because she was nursing, and then wet teats and cold air just don't mix. We had to give her medicine, and I made my husband do it because I don't like it, to be honest. And she held a grudge against him for weeks. Wouldn't come in the barn when he was in here because she remembered. And since I'm the main milker, my husband helps when he's home, but he's at work right now. I don't want her to be mad at me because that would be really inconvenient to try to fight with this cow, who's surprisingly fast. Fun fact about Miss Honey. She holds a grudge and she doesn't forget. Don't try this at home. I have to plug it in to the ceiling. Good girls. Have a good day. I love you so much. Bye. Remember all those beans from my last video? Here they are now. This is all but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more quarts. Ignore all these dishes in the background. I have 5 more quarts to do, and to be honest with you, I might just cook them for dinner. I mean, it's a little more than what's for dinner, but maybe we could eat it for 2 days because I didn't get to go outside this weekend because I had to do beans. I had to snap beans and canned beans all winter, all weekend, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So out of that big, insert picture here, and out of that big bushel, that big basket of beans, I made 37 quarts. That made 37 quarts, which going from how much was in that basket to like this doesn't seem like a lot. But, it is. Pop your head around the corner. Just one time. That's a foot. Do you want to do school now or later? Later? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so since she decided that we're going to do school later, I'm gonna go outside here in a minute. I'll take you with me. But I had to show you something that only chicken people will understand. And I don't have but maybe 1 or 2 tops in my real life that care, genuinely care. But I need to share this with you. And these aren't even from my new layers. I have like a handful, and by a handful I mean like 3 olive acres in my old flock. But I can't even show you all together because it's too many to carry. That's magical. But let me show you, show and tell one by one, okay? I don't have time because this video is going to be too long, but I will just show you. Number one is this olive, like dark olive with a speckle. I mean, come on. This is egg goals, okay? And next one that I've never seen before. Is this not gray? A gray bloom. Now, the bloom is the outside of the egg. It's like the protective coating that the chicken puts on the egg or gets there somehow. I like to think that there's like a little sprayer system inside there that sprays them. Let me show you how you can tell what color the egg is underneath. So it's just a green egg, but the bloom on it is this gray. Never seen that before. She's my new favorite. And then this dark one, minimal speckles, like faint freckles of a speckle, but love the color. And then the typical olive acre, and one a little bit lighter. And I just needed to show people who would appreciate it, because I think that you guys think this is as great as I do, or I hope. Also, can we talk about the shape? It's so round. I see you. I'm just trying to talk to my friends about eggs. Next, I'm down at the garden, and it is not the best time in the world to transplant anything, you know, going into the sun. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta pick the best option for the time, because if I put this off any longer, these are gonna die in the tray. They look a little sad already, and if I don't plant them, I'm not gonna get anything at all. So I've got a tray of lettuce and a tray of Swiss chard, just some greens going into the fall. Behind me you can see I have some things planted. Who knows if they will come to fruition, but if you do not plant it, you won't get it at all. Okay, I got everything planted that I needed to have planted, and now I'm going to pick some squash. And to be honest with you, I thought that the pest pressure was going to be less in the fall, but they're dropping like hotcakes. Okay, I started with a full row. I'm down to like 5 or 6 plants that are left, but it is what it is. I've just got the garden's humble offerings of a handful of squash and a handful of cucumbers. Because sometimes, you know, you had dreams of a massive fall garden and it just, rain didn't come and neither did the plants. I took it upon myself to have a little snack, and you want to know what I'm having as a snack? Since this is a follow me, like what do I do in a day? It's a good way to use up those like here and there cucumbers, because there's really not enough cucumbers to like pickle or like do anything with. So I'm trying to find ways to use them up so that they don't go bad. And this is my favorite little cucumber snack. So you just slice them and you put some cream cheese and everything bagel seasoning on top, and it's delicious and nutritious. You get to pet kitties too, because they stalk the porch. Now I gotta get the milk out of the freezer before I stop this timer. and I forget about it, but I've been having a nice time petting my cats on the porch. This one's very pregnant. I like to hold her down and try to feel the cats kick. There's kitties in there. Look at it. Wow. I want to feel your babies move. Alright, it's definitely evident that I need to buy a new camera battery because I'm having to come inside. It's a good time to take a break anyway, but my camera was like blinking battery light. But I needed to can this apple butter that I've been working on for literally 2 days because it was a big batch in this like big stock pot, and it took forever to cook down. But here's a little tip, okay? And I never follow a recipe for my apple butter. I just do it because it's not hard. You just have to cook it down to the consistency. But this year, because I grew so many, or I successfully grew so many winter squash, delicious, that I'm making pumpkin apple butter, and it is so good. Because in years past, I've spent, dozens of hours making apple products. Applesauce. We don't really eat applesauce. Maybe now and then my kids are in the mood for it. But I would get to the end of winter and still have so much applesauce left. If you're going to go through all the hassle of canning things, make sure it's stuff that your family is going to eat. And I've just figured out that we use way more apple butter than we do applesauce. And it's basically the same process. You just cook it longer so it concentrates down more. And it's delicious. Yeah. Some ways that I use it are substitute in baking. So instead of the oil, I'll use apple butter. What I've been recently doing is putting a spoonful of it in my coffee in the morning. And it's so good. It's like that little hint of fall that I don't really want it to be fall, but I love the flavors of fall. So, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, that's what I'm doing around lunchtime is canning apple butter. Pumpkin apple butter. See how it's a little bit orange? It's delicious. Okay, it's like an hour later now. I don't know. I feel much better. Like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders because look at all the fruits of my labor. Ta-da! It is worth it, but it does take so much time. And some extra because, I'm going to be honest, I did not plan to run out of lids, but I definitely did. And like I said, I've been putting this in my coffee, like it's my little addiction in the morning. And so I'll go through that in like a couple weeks and I'll be all good to go. I can 18 pints of this pumpkin apple butter and 5 little half pints. I think that's what that is. I like to can them in small jars as like gifts, like Christmas gifts or like, here, try what I made. I'm still not outside. I'm still doing random stuff that I need to do. But this is going to save me some time later because I don't want to have to stop and make dinner because tonight is going to be busy. Inside my crock pot are all the green beans that I had like 3.5 quarts or 4 quarts. I can't remember how many I dumped in here. A hefty amount of green beans because my household loves them. And then I just washed some of my potatoes that I've been storing down in the basement. This year I'm storing them, Hunter. I've been storing them inside of feed sacks in my cold basement and it's been working out lovely. We'll see if they last all winter that way, but I'm just gonna dice these up because you really can't mess up green beans and potatoes. And I'm not sure if it's just like a Midwest meal, but like a classic crock pot meal for a person of my stature in Indiana is green beans, sausage, green beans, and potatoes. That's the meal I'm going after right now. I don't have any sausage though, so I'm going to substitute something else later and I'll worry about that later. But right now I'm going to get this going in the crock pot so I can get busy outside.
The Venus flytrap eats insects and arachnids.
Can you write an A?
Yes.
Is that an uppercase A or lowercase? Good job. Victoria ruled for how many years?
65.
Close, 64. I'm probably sure that you can hear them singing the song of their people behind me, but they would probably like to get out of their coop. They've been locked in it all day because I needed to move it and I just haven't got around to it. And so I've got to move this net. I'll pull the coop forward and let the girls out, and then they'll get to do their little chicken thing for the rest of the day. Well, I came here and there's no ball on the four-wheeler. Oh, I lied, I found it. Okay, birds are moved. There's literally nothing better in life than moving an animal and watching how much fun it's having. Like when you move cows and they're really excited to eat new grass. Same thing with chickens, except smaller. This back half of my tunnel is having a resurgence. I've got lovely cucamelons growing all up one side. And then this cuckoozy squash that has been here literally all season and just took her sweet, sweet time to do this. This is what I wanted her to do all season, but she didn't. But my cucamelons are plentiful, super easy to pick. I will never not grow them up this arch or up a arch because it beats crawling around on the ground for them. But this video is not a garden tour and I can't tell you every little detail of what I'm doing because I have to pick the cucas. I hate when they still have the thing in.
Definitely
you already ate yours. Anyway, I wanted you to be here because ground cherries are not fun to harvest one person.
Oh,
so you can hold it up and I can scoop them.
That's what I did last time.
Or opposite. Yeah, but when you're only one person, you gotta hold it and get them. And
I drag them all out to the main and then you got a bucket. Makes it real easy.
Nope. Fresh out of buckets. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
The mother load.
Don't you know?
Nice. Thank you. Why don't you just let it happen? Oh, that was sharp.
In all reality, what I should actually be doing is picking more things so that tomorrow's day wouldn't be so long, because I really need to pick everything that I need for my CSA tomorrow. But playing with cows is just more fun, isn't it? I'm about to cook dinner, but first I have to tell you the tale about this tomato plant. So last year I had a dwarf tomato plant, like a micro tomato plant, on my porch in a pot, and I cannot crouch here. and I really liked it, and I forgot to save the seeds of it. But lucky for me, one of the tomatoes must have fell on the ground because there's a tiny, look how cute it is, volunteer tomato plant, and it's got tomatoes on it. And that's super exciting and cute, and I love it. And I hope of tomato plant volunteers here every year. This is what happens to things in pots at my house. I forget about them until they're on the brink of death, and then I will water it. Then and only then will I remember to water this. Same things, although it is, these planters have made it to September, which has literally never happened. They usually die by the August heat because I get busy and I forget to water them, and they are also crying out for a drink, but I think that they'll be okay.
Oh my goodness.
These are our last round of meat birds. They really could get out of this brooder and go outside, but right now it's just easier for them to be in there. What did we get, 60?
70.
60.
Said 60. 60.
I think I said 60 because I was shooting for 50, so if anything happened we had a 10 gap. But that's our bird for the freezer for the winter till next year when we do more birds. Got the rest of dinner cooking, and by rest of dinner I just mean sausage on the Blackstone to put over my green beans and potatoes, which isn't a traditional way to cook it, but I didn't have it earlier and I have it now. But it'll be even better when it's crispity off of the Blackstone. I think I'm pretty much done on the tasks for the day, and now it's just time to relax for 1 whole hour before I go to bed and then start it all over again tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching my what I do in a day. It's not every day, but pretty close. I'm doing some or most of these, almost every single one, every single day. So there's a little glimpse into my chaotic life. But thank you guys for watching. Until next time.